Today we're doing lesson 37 and it's called drawing pictures of fractions. So we're probably going to go through this pretty quickly. You guys are pretty good at representing fractions with pictures. So if you have a question, if I'm going too fast, stop me. If it all is making sense, that's great, but I want to make sure that we talk about what we need to talk about before you start your written practice. Okay, looking up here on the board, it says a picture can help us understand the meaning of a fraction. Visuals are great. I'm a very visual person. Sometimes illustrations and drawings help me a ton understand what I'm working with. It says be careful to divide the pictures into equal parts. So all of these are examples of 1/2. I can split a square diagonally. Why? Because a square is the same on all sides. So if I split it down diagonally, that means each of those triangles is the exact same. I can split it in half. The top and the bottom are both going to be the exact same. I can split it vertically in half. So the left and the right pieces are exactly the same. And I can also split it into fourths, just like the one on the end. And each of those squares is the same. And if I want to show 1/2, I just need to be sure that I'm shading 2 of the 4 pieces. The reason the one on the bottom does not equal 1/2 is why?
Because they're not even.
Because they're not even. Okay, they have to be the same exact size in order to be considered equal parts. Okay, it says draw a rectangle and shade 1/3 of it. So if I were looking at these two pictures, I have 2 rectangles. They're the exact same, well, same-ish length. Okay, but one of them is split up into halves and the other is split up into thirds. So if I did the one on the left and I shaded half of it, I'm not representing 1/3. I've got to make sure that my denominator is represented by the total number of pieces that I have broken my rectangle up into. So because the denominator is 3, I need to have 3 pieces. I'm shading 1 of those 3 pieces. The best way to draw a circle and divide it into thirds, in case you don't know, draw a circle and draw a Y in it as best you can to make them into 3 equal parts. So you're kind of drawing like a capital Y. It's the best way to try to get them equal. It's not, may not be perfect, but it's going to be really close. If you're drawing it on your own, that is your tip to get it into thirds. Yep. Okay, so let's do a couple. I'm going to wait. All right. So we're going to do a couple of examples together, and then I'm going to set you off onto your written practice. So looking at A, it says draw a circle and shade 1/4 of it. So if I were to draw a circle, what do I need to do to this circle? Cut in half. Cut in half. And how many do I shade?
1.
Good. Okay, number 2 says draw a rectangle and shade 2/3 of it. So I'm going to draw myself a rectangle. I'm going to do a vertical rectangle. And I want to do thirds. Do I have to split it horizontally into thirds, or can I split it vertically into thirds? Either way, I'm going to do my best to make them equal parts. And how many do I shade?
2.
I shade 2. So that's 1. Is there anything wrong with me shading like this?
No.
Nope. Okay, C. The shaded portion of this square represents the fraction 3/4. Show me another way to shade 3/4 of a square. What else could I do? Savannah?
You could shade the top one. Shade the
What if I did that? Did I throw you off?
Kinda.
Okay.
Try the top left one.
Okay.
Then the bottom right
Okay.
and bottom left.
Okay, very good. So that's another way you can shade 3/4. You can also do like this, where I split it in half in each of those halves, and I can shade 1, 2, 3. As long as they're equal, that's all that matters. Yes?
Couldn't you also do like vertical lines?
Uh-huh.
Shade down.
Yep, you absolutely could. Okay, letter D. The shaded portion of this circle represents the fraction 1/3. We're going to draw a circle and shade 2/3 of it. So here's this. This time I'm going to do like an upside down Y. Somebody earlier was saying like a peace sign. Okay, I want to shade 2/3. Does it matter which 2? So I'm going to do the bottom, and then I'm going to do this side over here on the right. Do y'all feel pretty good about it?
Yes.
Okay, Your practice is going to start on page 250, goes to 252. You're doing all 1 through 30 for the written practice today.